Hey guys, welcome to my New York City travel vlog exploring Manhattan. This year for my birthday, my husband and I caught a flight to the island of Manhattan where we explored for 3 days. Y'all, the aerial view of Manhattan is totally different from that of North Carolina. It was literally given water versus trees.
We flew into the LaGuardia airport, took a couple pictures, then we Ubered to our hotel, which I would not recommend because with the level of traffic, baby, that's going to be one expensive Uber ride. Don't Uber unless you got about 2 other people you can split that bill with. Our Uber ride cost us a little over $90, and we ended up paying a little over $30 each because we split that bill with 2 other couples. We booked our hotel and flight through Expedia, and that was my first time using Expedia, so I was impressed. This is the hotel. It was called the Sofitel, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Y'all, when we got there, we did not have to carry our bags up to our room. They had bellmen, and our bags got up to our room quickly. Okay, the customer service was superb. I would definitely stay there again.
This is an image of a room that I pulled from the internet, and I wanted to show you this just to show you how closely the rooms that we stayed in matched what they marketed online. I will say that this hotel was old, but that was a non-issue for me because I could tell that they maintained it well and the upkeep was superb. I'm the type of person that comes in, sprays everything down with Lysol, wipes everything down with sanitation wipes. I still did that, but everything was so clean and well kept. I didn't have any complaints. They even provided us with cotton robes and bedroom shoes, which I wore every night and every morning, okay? And whenever I'm on trips, I try to always remember to bring my anointing oil and anoint every part of the room, the windows, the doors, the entryways, and pray over it to just rid the space of any demonic presence that was left there from the previous tenants. But on another note, and totally unrelated to that, another perk about this hotel is that they are very conscious of their carbon footprint. The water that they would send up through room service was in cartons instead of plastic bottles. And our room key, as you can see, was made of wood instead of plastic. So that was a plus for me. Day 1 airport outfit. Y'all, it's cold in New York. This is how I traveled. So let's get into these day 1 activities. Our hotel was in the heart of Manhattan, so everything was within walking distance of where we were staying. And this is a daytime view of Times Square, which was literally about a block or 2 away from our hotel. Y'all, they don't call this the city that never sleeps for no reason, because I promise you, the city never slept. After exploring Times Square, we walked to Central Park. Y'all, this park is huge. We were only able to really explore like a fourth of the park, if that. This would have been dope if we would have brought a blanket, our JBL speaker, maybe a book and some cards, and just laid out on the blanket and vibed. On the way back to Times Square, we passed these horse and buggy rides. We didn't ride them, but I'm sure it would have been a unique experience. And I will say about Times Square or anywhere in New York, the traffic is so heavy on foot that you need to wear a purse that crosses the front of your body or a fanny pack. Don't use your back pockets because it's easy to get pickpocketed. So as you can see, this is a nighttime view, and it was on my bucket list to head over to the red iconic stairs for a photo. And apparently it was on everybody in their mama bucket list too. So I had to be okay with being photobombed by everybody. Child, after dealing with that foot traffic and being shoulder to shoulder, elbow to elbow with strangers, baby, we was ready to go back to the hotel and call it a night.
Day 2 fit check, and here's a rundown of what I'm wearing from head to toe. This denim top is my husband's, and it came from Target. The purse came from Walmart. The cargo pants came from Foot Locker, and I paired those with my Yeezy slides, and these shades came from Target. And you're going to see Times Square quite a bit because everywhere that we went, we literally had to walk through Times Square to get there. So our first activity of day 2 was an attraction called Rise New York, which I found on TikTok. Yes, TikTok made us do it. This was an interactive museum that taught you about the history of New York and what New York is known for. My husband and I love to learn something about the places that we visit. Y'all, this ended with a virtual reality 3D roller coaster ride that gives you a tour of New York. It was so dope. If you are in New York, I recommend that you try it. No, I didn't get to record the roller coaster ride because, of course, there were no cameras allowed. But I did record some of the things that I found most interesting, like the evolution of music and the radio, which was my husband's favorite part, which is no coincidence because that man loved music, y'all. I call him Radio Raheem. And, of course, the evolution of fashion was my favorite. Why? Because, fun fact, in case you didn't know this about me, I majored in fashion. It's what I studied in college, so fashion truly is my passion. I even have a fashion YouTube channel called Queen of Her Closet. But anyway, as I was doing the voiceover for this video, I was like, why do I vlog? I had to remind myself because the enemy was trying to make me feel like I was bragging, but the devil is a liar. On the contrary, one of the reasons God called me to start this channel is to showcase a Christ-centered lifestyle that is far from boring. And one of the ways that I do this is by documenting my experiences. So many people refrain from following Jesus Christ because they feel like once they get saved, they can't have fun anymore. But I'm here to show you and tell you that that is a lie from the pits of hell, and it's nothing more than a tactic from the enemy to keep you from salvation. On another note, this was the view from the top floor of the museum after we got off the virtual reality ride.
So by this time we had worked up an appetite, and you guessed it, we were headed to grab some lunch. This place was called Mom's Kitchen, and I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but for lunch on day one, we had Ray's Pizza. That was my first time having New York style pizza, and it was amazing. So I recommend if you're in New York, try Ray's Pizza. But anyway, back to Mom's Kitchen. So one thing I loved about this place is how they incorporated color, and they paid homage to the 90s. And it was very childlike. You can see them playing cartoons on all of the TVs, but not just any cartoons from the 90s. Another thing that was really cool is that all the condiments on each table was kept in these old tin lunch boxes like they used to carry back in the 90s. Even the artwork on the wall paid homage to cartoons in the 90s. This was the appetizer that my husband and I shared, which was supposed to come top with bacon, but I don't eat bacon, so we got it on the side for him. Also, my mocktail was just that, a mocktail with no alcohol before y'all come for me. I had to drink that before my entree got here, because you know when you eat something sweet and drink something sweet, you don't taste the drink. This mac and cheese was good to me. Would I get it again? Absolutely. However, I ain't gonna hold you. Don't go in here expecting to get the baked mac and cheese that your auntie makes at Thanksgiving dinner, because it just ain't that. Comparison is the thief of joy, and enjoy this mac and cheese for what it is, because it was good. Now for my entree, I got the bedrock pancakes topped with fruity pebbles, because if you know me, I can eat breakfast any time of the day. But my husband, on the other hand, he wanted some lunch. So he got a short rib grilled cheese sandwich, which he enjoyed. I just didn't get a picture of it. After lunch, we headed down to Move Fabric, and no, we did not go into the New York Times building. We just passed it along the way, and yes, I took a picture of it. Why? Because your girl is claiming to be a New York Times best-selling author someday, so why wouldn't I take a picture of it, right? And of course, when we got down to Move Fabric, I had to take pictures there too, because my good friend used to say, if you didn't take a picture, it didn't happen. But y'all, let's talk about this entrance. Y'all, these art murals actually have fabric incorporated in them. Real fabric. I thought that was pretty dope. Now, why Move Fabric? Because let's be real, I ain't buy no fabric, y'all. But I went just to say I was there, because as a fashion major, you do not go to New York and not visit Move Fabric. It is every designer's dream, okay? When I was in college, most people would order their fabric from here and have it shipped to us for every project that we had. On top of that, a lot of the fashion designer TV shows that I watch use this exact fabric store. So I had to visit, and I was even looking for the little dog Swatch, but he wasn't there. We are on day 3 of this vlog, and if you're still here, you really be rocking with me, and you already know how we're starting with the fit check.
This area was called Grand Central Terminal, and it is the area where the Vanderbilt Summit exhibit was housed. Y'all, every area that we visited looked different, so it was very important for me to record footage of our surroundings. So that's why you see us walking a lot.
The Adventures of Ernest and Shequita. Say hey, babe. I try to get a photo in every area that we visit so that you know the video footage and my vlogs actually came from me. So now we're heading up to the Vanderbilt One Summit, and this exhibit was housed inside of a fancy train station with a mall attached to it, which is the footage that you're getting here. We literally had to go through all of this just to get to the exhibit entrance. And once we got there, you know I had to take a photo, because say it with me, if you didn't take a picture, it didn't happen. So at this point, I'm going to pretty much keep quiet and let the footage from this exhibit roll, unless there's something that I really need to say. Standing in line at the Summit One Vanderbilt.
Please start the journey to your right.
So let me just pause on this photo and say that you definitely need sunglasses for this exhibit, especially if you're seeing it in the daytime. I brought my own, but if you forget, they also provide them. In this photo, Ernest is wearing the sunglasses that they provide. There's our insurance company.
We're going up to level 2.
Oh, it's a glass.
Oh yeah, this right here we were standing in line to stand on a glass floor. So literally you would stand on this glass floor and you could see all the way through the floor to the ground outside. It was scary. I literally had butterflies in my stomach. And then they gave you 30 seconds to get pictures. Yeah. That's the end of the experience. Now we get to remove our little slippers and move on to the next event. Did you enjoy that? I enjoyed it. This particular place is great if you like taking photos and videos. You would capture some great photo and video moments here. Okay? Great selfies. That's it.
So I cut the sound here because they were playing music in the background, and you know me, I'm not trying to get a copyright strike, but we were pretty much headed back to the elevators to take us back to level 1 so we could exit the exhibit. And of course, that took us through the gift shop, but that's okay because if you know me, I like to purchase either a pin or a patch and put them on my denim jacket, which shows where I have traveled.
Thank you for visiting Summit. Please exit to your right.
Welcome back, everyone. It's going to be right down this way to your left.
Wait, is that? I thought you wanted a Philly cheesesteak, not from a food truck. Huh? On this particular day, we chose fine dining for lunch at a 5-star restaurant called Senegal, which specialized in Mexican cuisine. We started by sharing an appetizer, and this was the sampler platter. It came with taquitos, nachos, quesadillas, ribs, and 2 different dipping sauces. Y'all, that platter was so big that we were full before our entree even got to the table. Our main course, which we also planned to share, was the shrimp diablo, and it came with seasoned pinto beans and corn, the grilled shrimp, a orange achiata and jalapeno butter sauce, seasonal vegetables, cilantro pasilla rice, and a sweet corn cake. Y'all, it was bomb. After we ate, we headed back to our room to regroup before our next activity. Today's agenda, we went to the One Summit Vanderbilt, which is a venue that I learned about on Project Runway, so I had to see it, and in a couple of hours we'll be going to see Lion King on Broadway. So I started out, I just added this cardigan because I know that sitting inside of a theater, I'm going to be cold, but I'm going to remove the sunglasses because I needed these today for the Vanderbilt One Summit because it was really bright. Anywho, this is what I'm wearing, y'all. Bag, Walmart, shirt, Target, belt, Target, pants, Forever 21, shoes, Yeezy, foam runners, socks, Nike, cardigan, Kohl's, sunglasses, Target. And that's what we're wearing.
Headed to see the Lion King on Broadway.
As we head to our seats, let me just say that as children, we're taught that Lion King is such a sweet and innocent movie. But as an adult and a blood-bought believer, when I watch that movie now, I see tons of witchcraft, idolatry, jealousy, and resentment. And I'm not saying as Christians you can't watch it right, but I'm saying be aware of what you watch so that you know what you got to come out of agreement with, or if you need to get up and walk out of that movie, or maybe if it's a movie you just don't need to watch again. Perhaps even anoint yourself before you go watch the movie, because I do think there is a good lesson in it that can be taught to our children who are old enough to understand. This was the view from our seats. I believe we were on the 8th row, which I think were great options. Anything closer, our necks would have been hurting looking up at the stage. I think the balcony might have been great seats too. Of course, we couldn't record anything during the show, so here is a photo, so you know it was real. This was our first live on Broadway experience, and if you are ever in Manhattan, I recommend that you experience it for yourself, especially The Lion King. We give this a 10 out of 10, and we would definitely see another show because it is unlike any other play you will ever see. In fact, it raises the bar for all other plays.
Day 4 was all about our commute home, and we were still able to experience a subway ride for the first time. So we learned that the subway is the cheapest way to get to and from the airport. We literally caught the subway to the bus station, and the LaGuardia Link transported us to the airport. Y'all, these tickets were literally $3.25 each. So we spent $6.50 getting back to the airport versus $30 getting from the airport to our hotel. You can literally plug your final destination into the GPS on your phone. For me, it's the Maps app that literally came on my phone. And if you select transit, it will literally tell you which subway to catch and which bus you need to connect to in order to make it to the airport. And might I add that we made it back to the airport with about an hour and a half to spare, which, you know, you want to get to the airport about 2 hours before your flight is supposed to take off. Anyway, New York was definitely good to us. We were able to experience Times Square, Central Park, the Garment District, Grand Central Terminal, and a live play on Broadway. And we would definitely go back. Until our next trip, there's no place like home. You can definitely tell that we have landed in North Carolina because it's given nothing but trees versus the water when we landed in New York. Anywho's, thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. And remember, adjust your crowns because royalty looks good on you. Happy YouTubing. Bye.